How's it going, guys? It is May 18th. A couple days since I've done a vlog, so I'll be putting up a couple this evening. 11:07 p.m. Do some night vlogging here for a change. I don't like to be a creature of extreme habit by doing the same repetitive things over and over again at the same times every day. I like to take different routes home, different routes to work, and I don't like to really make too much of a habit. I know what you're thinking. These vlogs are habitual, but are they really? I post an average of one every day, but they vary in times and in topic. So that's all I'll say about that. So in line with where I left off on the last vlog, I said I would do a vlog on comfortability and it being relative. So this ties into the whole money does not equal happiness talk. So I'll talk a little bit on just my camera here. I'll talk a little bit on comfortability being relative. So depending on your comfortability level, and it really depends on your upbringing, your ethics, what you think is comfortable. I'm sure as you grew up, there was probably times in your life where you were uncomfortable and times where you were very comfortable. And that's just all relative to your family and your upbringing. And comfortability really varies from person to person. What makes one person or couple comfortable doesn't necessarily make the other couple or people or person comfortable. So you can take an average size household back several decades ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago. The average size for square foot of a house, I was reading doing some research, was around 1,400 square feet, 14 and 1,500 square feet for a family of roughly 3.5. Um, so roughly each parent, there was a couple, uh, and then they had a kid or two, and they lived in a 1,400 square foot house. Now, the average size, it's still roughly the same family size. I think maybe it went up to four, but the average size square foot house is 2,800 square feet. So as you can imagine, the size of the house doubled, but not necessarily the family size. And that's all a matter of comfortability over time. People just have higher expectations for things, but all of that is relative to your upbringing and the things that you partake in or don't partake in. Again, if you take a person who is not American or not that is from a third world country where I'll just give you an example. When I went to go visit Mexico and they didn't have electricity, to them that was normal. That is their norm. Even though they come to the States to visit all the time and they have electricity there, they didn't find it as needy as we do here in the States. And that's all a matter of comfortability and it being relative to them. But if you take a person that's all they've known their entire life, without having electricity, that's comfortable to them, and you suddenly introduce electricity, and becomes a new sort of comfort, and you adopt new norms. But if you strip it down to the basics, what is it that makes you comfortable? And is that something that's kind of been bred into you, or is it something that has developed over time? So there's definitely a lot to think about, but I mean, the gist of this one is that comfortability is relative to an individual or to a group of people. It doesn't necessarily apply to all. And the more money you have doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be more comfortable. There are several low-income people who live very comfortable lives beyond your imaginations, and to them, simple is comfortable. And not having nice things, not having to worry about nice things, is somewhat comfortable to them. And really, go out there and explore for yourself and see what makes you comfortable, what makes the people around you comfortable, in its most purest form. And you'll see that it's relative to an individual. And that's just what I wanted to paint today, is that comfortability is relative. What's comfortable for one person doesn't necessarily apply for all, and you shouldn't impose your will of comfortability onto somebody else, or vice versa. You shouldn't impose somebody else's will onto yourself. You should just be comfortable with whatever decisions you make within your own skin, and in all facets of your life. Be comfortable with the things that you do and with the things that you have, and know that money will not necessarily provide more comfort in your life. Like I said, some of the most stressed out people are the richest people. Some of the most comfortable people tend to not make that much money, and there's a good correlation there, and that correlation exists for a reason. So that'll be it for today's vlog. I got a couple more to put up today. I think I'll be putting up 4, so I can put up tomorrow's one a little bit earlier tonight, since I'll be approaching 12 by the time I get to it. But I appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Last time I checked, I was at 67 subscribers, so we'll keep it going until I reach 75 will be the next milestone for me. So appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one.